Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the podcast. I'm sorry this took a bit of time to get set up because nobody's available, really. Anyway, I did this with my friend Ashton. Thank you, Ashton, for being available. And now, without further ado, enjoy the episode. So, let's just get right into it. Did you watch that He Get This commercial?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so what did you think about it?
I thought it was interesting. I thought it was pretty good. I see a lot of people saying that it's like heretical or something because of like the different groups of people that it shows. I know like one of them was a guy like washing feet right outside of an abortion clinic,
Yeah.
and that was like shocking. But I don't think that's something that Jesus wouldn't do today. Like I think he would love anyone. I think it was a good commercial. It is weird though. It seems like a lot of these things that they're showing in it, they're like, it almost seems like they're condoning it. There's not like a clearly defined line. Like I think they showed like a couple of homosexual couples or something like
Yeah.
that, and they were like, "Oh, like Jesus gets them. He washed their feet." It's like
Mhm.
he would have told them to go and sin no more.
Yeah, that's the thing. It just seems like they weren't taking risks, really. They
No.
were just it was weird. I felt like it had a liberal agenda because of how many white people were washing the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just me
I
taking
didn't
it.
even notice that.
Like it just threw me off when there was a white cop washing a black guy's feet.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen. I could see the liberal agenda for sure though. I think I don't know, like with Christianity, like it's a really tricky one because you want to get people to the idea and the religion, but like how do you do that while also telling them that they're corrupt?
Mm.
Which is weird because like that's like one of the biggest ideas of Christianity is that like all fall short of the glory of God. But when you don't show that, like you're missing one of the biggest ideas.
Because Jesus said like they're gonna hate you like they hate me, and I think the people that made this commercial, they're trying to play it safe and be likable, and they're not really trying to put any like controversy.
Yeah, like it is hard to pitch Christianity as likable though, especially today where we have like postmodernism. It's like the biggest like prevailing idea is like your truth when that's not a thing. That is perception. That's not truth. Everyone has their idea of the truth that doesn't necessarily make it the truth, and then like Christianity, that is the truth. So like if you want to pitch that, it's like almost counterculture, and they try to blend it, so it doesn't work well.
Yeah, I do remember last year in the Super Bowl. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a commercial like that, but it did talk about sin, and
Yeah,
it showed like people fighting and stuff.
it was. Yeah, it was by the same people, wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
I think. I don't know.
It was from the same company, so I think it might have been a better one.
Let's look this up. It's He Gets Us.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're a nonprofit.
I think they are.
I would hope so. Dude, I wonder if we can like look into who's funding this. About us. How do we get to the story of Jesus, the world's greatest love story, and twist it into a tool to judge, harm, and divide? How do we remind people that the story of Jesus belongs to everyone? These questions are the beating heart of He Gets Us. Our campaign comprises humble perspectives and from a diverse group of Jesus fans and followers with a variety of faith journeys and lived experiences bound by common desire to rediscover and share the compelling story of Jesus' life in a new way. How do you do that in a new way? It's a century. It's like 2 centuries, not centuries. It's 2,000. It's like a 2,000-year-old story. How do you do that new?
Progressive Jesus.
I guess, but like, that's not Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus wasn't progressive. He was like die to yourself. Frequently asked questions. Your stance on the LGBTQ plus community. Here we go. These are probably the most common questions we receive, and we understand why. Many of those who represent Jesus made people in the LGBTQ plus community feel judged and excluded. That's why others in the Jesus community have simply ignored their stories and life experiences. So let us be clear on our opinion. Jesus loves gay people and Jesus loves trans people. The LGBTQ plus community, like all people, is invited to explore the story of Jesus and consider his example of unconditional love, grace, and forgiveness of others, no matter hold up, I lost my place. I'm dyslexic. No matter who you are invited to explore the story of Jesus and consider what it means for your life. Like I like that on paper, but I think it's dangerous. You know?
Yeah, because they're just saying Jesus loves everyone. They're not saying he doesn't condone what they're doing.
Like, which is true. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus does love everyone, but you know, like the second part of that, he's not a fan of sin.
Yeah.
And like a lot of this is that we might be diving into dangerous territory on Spotify. I don't know what your streaming is on.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's pretty niche.
Yeah. No. I don't know. I mean, like, of course, Jesus loves the LGBTQ community. I mean, he's Jesus.
Yeah.
He loves all. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. It's just like when you sit there and you're like, oh, it's okay. Or like, I don't know. It's funny how they're like, oh, like, what's your stance on it? And they didn't give their stance. They're just like, I mean, they're welcome to the table. Who owns He Gets Us? A billionaire donor is behind the Jesus focused Super Bowl ads. David Green, it's this thing. David Green worth $3 billion. Oh my gosh. Who is this guy? CEO of Hobby Lobby.
That kind of checks out, I guess.
Yeah. 82 years old. Oh my gosh, they did not give his full net worth. 15.6 billion. So I guess he's the biggest donor. Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how he would feel about the LGBT stuff, considering he's an old white guy.
Probably doesn't take it lightly.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I don't know. You ever seen like old people staring at like young LGBT teenagers? Yeah. They're like they do like the, I don't know how else to put it, but like the cracker death stare. Or like a mixed race couple too. I don't know. I remember when my grandpa met my sister's boyfriend for the first time, and that was interesting because he's old and white, and her boyfriend is not either of those things. I don't know, just like weird looks, I guess.
Even I sometimes feel weird seeing mixed couples in commercials because it seems too common in commercials than when it actually is in real life.
For sure. I think commercials always like feel weird because of how like formulated the people are. It's like they're built in a lab almost. Like, how often do you see like a white person in commercials?
Yeah, no.
It's not like nearly as much as you see it out in the open, you know, like, which is, it's fine, it's whatever. I mean, people can push their diversity quotas if they want to, but it doesn't feel genuine. I don't know. Did you know that white people are going to become a minority pretty soon? Yeah.
We are still like the majority.
We are in the US, but that's going to change pretty soon, I think. Hold on, let me look this up. Which, I mean, it's whatever. It's not a bad thing. Oh, non-Hispanic white Americans under 18 in the U.S. already have a minority as of 2020. This will project it. It is projected that non-Hispanic whites overall become... Oh, I guess I don't fall into that, though. Because I'm a Hispanic white. I got that taco blood. Yeah, that's kind of weird, though. Because I know, like, globally, like, I think like the biggest group is Asian, and then like with like India's population explosion, it's gonna like stay the same. I know like Chad is having like a giant population boom or something like that. Like a lot of these African countries, it looks like with like such a young population and like a lot of natural resources, maybe they'll actually start developing. I don't know. They kind of been like stuck in a loop of just like, I don't want to use the word oppression because it's cringe. I feel like it's overused, you know. But like all these countries get like United Nations backing, and then they use it to like mine blood diamonds and stuff like that.
And those kind of countries just seem to be stuck in like before the Middle Ages. They're like really ancient in technology.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like I feel like empires kind of work like a curve. Like it goes up to a really high point and then it's just like down and down and down and down. If you look at like some of the most developed countries in ancient history, they were all like African civilizations. It would be like or like Middle Eastern, like Egypt, like all those like Sumerian cities. They were huge. Like some of them signed in like the first laws and stuff. Hammurabi's code.
But yeah, isn't that what like made the alphabet?
I think it attributed to it. I know like the English alphabet at its like earliest roots comes from like Canaanite trade papers or something weird like that. It's super interesting. Let me look this up.
I remember learning in history class that our alphabet is mostly taken from Persian stuff. Yeah, it's evolved quite a bit.
The earliest known alphabetic inscriptions are called Proto-Canaanite and date from 1700 to 1500 BCE. Proto-Canaanite, which may have been an adaptation of Egyptian hieroglyphics, developed into the first true alphabetic writing system, Phoenician. Yeah, it's weird if you look at ancient history, like how long it took for us to just write stuff down. I mean, I know like the Egyptians did it on like brick, but it took like so long for us to develop just papyrus paper.
Because I'm sure like the Bible books feel like the earliest manuscripts in the world at the time.
Yeah, I mean, there's writing that predates the first 5 books of the Bible, but it seems like it's just. I mean, I don't know. I'm biased because I'm a Christian. You know, there's things like what is it? Like the Epic of Gilgamesh that I think is literally just like it what it seems like to me is like echoes of the creation story, just like twisted over time until like Moses got like inspiration from God to like write them back down again and correct them.
Okay. And I suppose there also was the Book of Job, which is apparently written or happened before.
We think like
Moses.
Job was like not a few, but probably a couple of 100 years after the Ice Age, or not after, but during the Ice Age, like after the flood. I know that Job talks about ice a lot.
Yeah, I've never read that full thing, so
it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
God's response to him is like really funny too. Job's like, "Oh, what did I do?" And God's like, "You're not God." Let me find it. I have it in my notes. What do you think about Job?
I mean, yeah, it is very depressing, but it's impressive how he managed to. He somehow just didn't get mad at God the entire time. I mean, he got mad for literally every other reason.
Yeah.
I mean, his friends were kind of douchebags.
Oh, for sure. Dude, his wife was the worst.
Yeah.
He was like sitting there dying of like some skin disease, and she's like, "Curse God and die, idiot." There's like some of Job that's just so depressing. His kids died. I mean, you can't replace that.
Yeah. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. There's some of it that's super weird too, like just the idea of Satan being in heaven before God, supposedly after the fall. I mean, we don't know how that works. Really, we have an idea of it because of like, what's the book? It's like the Book of Enoch or something, but it's not actually a part of the Bible.
Relating to like Job with all his family dying, sometimes I just have a problem I just feel like it's unfair when God kills a bunch of people just to prove a point, or like to point someone
Oh, for
else
sure.
to that. To,
For
like,
sure.
him.
I think like the only thing that redeems that is like there's a passage in Peter that talks about Jesus telling the dead the good news. So like maybe they had a second chance after they died, but I'm not God, so I have no idea.
Mm.
Yeah, there's like a Family Guy skit where like Peter was just like, "Oh, like I'll do this if you just kill a bunch of babies for no reason." And then it like flashes every verse where that happens in the Bible, and it's like a lot of times. I know like the obvious one is like Egypt, where God just like passed over Egypt and killed a bunch of firstborn kids of people who didn't have lamb's blood on their door, which is terrifying. There's this meme. It's like a dad barbecuing, and there's a dog next to him that has a shirt on that just says like, "I saw the face of God and it was weeping." Do you think of any like weird existential dread stuff? Not necessarily like that, just like in general.
Not any off the top of my head at the
No.
moment.
There's some weird technology things that are happening lately that make me think of that. Have you heard of Neuralink at all?
Is that like telekinesis kind of thing?
Almost. Neuralink is like the brain chip that Elon Musk is like funding. It Yeah, so its primary use is for people who like have been paralyzed or something like that. It's gonna connect like from their brain to their spinal cord and send like nerve impulses back and forth so you can actually like move again. And
That sounds pretty decent to me.
it does, but it would probably have an internet connection. And that's where you lose me, because that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine someone hacking your brain.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that has the potential to become like a hive mind or something.
Mm-hmm.
If like 4 people have Neuralink in a room, and they're like telepathically communicating, and someone has the ability to hack them. I don't know how this works. I'm not Elon Musk.
I'm sure China would figure it out.
Have you heard of the it's called wetware?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a brain powered, or not powered, but it's a brain based supercomputer. This is something that's really interesting. I've been looking into it a little bit because I think it's terrifying.
Is this new?
Yeah, it's pretty new. I mean, they've been like working on it. I don't know who they is, but people have been working on it for a while. And the idea is, so the human brain has the capacity to store upwards of like, hold up, I might be speaking out of my butt. Let me look this up first. Holy crap, never mind. That's, wow. It's more than I thought it was. Yeah, it's a petabyte or 2.5 petabytes of memory, which is like upwards of, that's like over 2,000 terabytes. And that's like one brain. So, and the processing power of a human brain is insane, like absolutely ridiculous if you think about it. Like, think about like how much it takes for someone to like throw a ball at you and like realize that there's a ball being thrown at you and know to catch it. Like if you throw that at like a computer or something, like it's not gonna respond, obviously. But a brain powered computer or wetware, like the only thing that's limiting it is the amount of brain matter it has. So if you were to like clone a ton of brain matter and like just fill a room with it, well, like a brain is like what? It's like supposed to be the size of like both your fists put together. If you have like a whole room full of that, that's a ridiculous amount of storage, like a ridiculous amount of processing power, and then like you like train it as if it was a computer. That's a supercomputer. I think like the worst part of it is just like the ethical concern for me, because like what if the brain that you're cloning is sentient? I know there's like a brain works in a bunch of different parts, obviously. I mean like Broca's Wernicke's, you have like your frontal lobe. There's like so many different intricate parts and like lobes of your brain. I don't know how that would work in the context of a computer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any more than you do with this.
I can send you an article. It's really
Alright.
interesting.
Yeah. When you say sentient, do you mean like there'd be like a person aware of something that's happening to their brain?
Yeah. I don't even know if they'd be aware that something's happening to their brain or if they would just be like present in a void knowing that something weird is happening or having like an abstract idea of it, because like you're not teaching this thing. I mean, I guess you are teaching it English, I don't know.
Are they just trying to manipulate the brain for storage or like other things too?
So the first use, or like the first hypothetical use of it, it would be testing medicines. So like if someone has Alzheimer's, they could test experimental drugs on their cloned brain to see how it would react to that.
It does seem like a pretty useful way, but I guess just the way of it being ethical or not.
Mm-hmm.
To have like just a singular brain, you probably need to hook it up to a bunch of stuff to make it even work properly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it would need like
I don't even know how you'd be.
you would have to like literally, if it was a computer, you would have to feed it. Like that'd be weird.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it would need like certain like vitamins, minerals, stuff like that, oxygen, and it would need a source of calories because it is using energy. Maybe not much at all, but it would still need something.
Yeah, because their brain needs fats to really work properly. So you have to give it a bunch of bacon, I guess.
Throw bacon at a supercomputer. So, yeah, that Madam Web movie.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
So from what I heard, I haven't actually seen it. I don't plan on watching it unless it's like on a streaming service. But from what I heard, the plot is just really derivative and detached from itself. And the characters probably would have like post trauma from all the stuff they went through. Like, and I watched one guy's video and he said the main character, she probably broke over 20 laws in the whole movie. Like, she just did so many illegal things, and they didn't even suit up until like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
That's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
It's a superhero movie. I guess superheroes do break laws all the time, though.
But that's very true. Yeah.
When you think of Batman, he's literally a vigilante. I mean, that alone is breaking so many laws. What he has to do to even like get into a building and stop someone, like breaking and entering, vigilantism, aggravated assault, aggravated battery. There's like all this stuff, or like use of a deadly weapon.
Yeah. Just how fast he goes in his car, it must be well over the speed limit.
Dude, in the games, he'll like run, or not like completely run someone over, but when you're like trying to get information out of someone, he'll put like a thug's head under the wheel of the Batmobile and like threaten them with it. I don't know much about Madam Web, like even in the context of comics, and I don't think the average viewer did either. So I don't know why you'd want to make a movie out of that unless you like introduced her earlier. I wonder if it tied into the Spider-Verse at all.
I'm pretty sure it did. There was a scene with Ben Parker, and like they didn't name Peter Parker, but they implied that his son was Peter Parker. But that's the most, I think. But
oh my gosh, dude! It only made 26 million. What was its budget?
Probably not much. I heard that Sony is probably just making these really bad movies because they have to renew their licenses. So they're just getting something out to renew it.
80 million.
From what they bought from Marvel like a while ago.
They need to. Well, I don't even think giving Spider-Man back to Disney at this point would be good, because look what Disney's done with Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel's at an all-time low. I think how much did that Marvel's movie make compared to its budget?
Probably a laughable amount of money. I think it did worse than Love and Thunder.
206 million. Yeah, that's not horrible. It's better than Madam Web, I guess.
Do you know about the Fantastic Four movie Marvel's gonna make?
Yeah, with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't just stick with John Krasinski.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I don't know.
Do you remember the Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch?
I never watched that one, but I heard it was pretty bad.
It was. I don't even know what the point of it was. They did some cool stuff like they made it like body horror almost. I remember there was like a scene where they were getting experimented on. They were like seeing how far Reed Richards could stretch, and it just looked painful. It looked gross and painful.
Yeah.
And then in Wanda, or what was the movie? What was it? Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. The way they showed Reed Richards there was kind of cool. He's like a head of the Illuminati. But what I don't get is like, wasn't Iron Man supposed to be there?
I don't know. I don't read the comics.
I know, like in the comics, at some point, Iron Man was like a part of the Illuminati. That's kind of like a stupid concept, though.
They probably couldn't get Robert Downey Jr. to do that.
Just get Tom Cruise to do it. They could have like Ultimate Iron Man. That'd be cool.
That Reed Richards was so dumb in that movie. Like, I don't.
At the snap of my fingers, I could have Black Bolt kill you right. Why would you tell it? Is there anything you're looking forward to coming from Marvel? I think for me, it's like that Deadpool movie.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, that. I want to see that.
It's weird that they have Hugh Jackman back. Because...
he kind of had his end run in Logan.
Yeah, he's like dead.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a time skip, isn't it?
Well, it's probably just a different timeline, so...
I would like to see a Hulk movie where Wolverine is the villain. I think that'd be really cool because that's how they introduced him.
Really?
Yeah, in like Wolverine's debut in Marvel was as an adversary to the Hulk. I don't know if he was like hunting him or something, but that would make sense because he's like an animal. Yeah, you know he was supposed to be like 5'3".
Who, the character or Hugh Jackman?
The character, yeah. Wolverine's super short, which is funny because Hugh Jackman's like 6 foot. Wolverine is portrayed by Hugh Jackman in the X-Men films with a height of 6'3". The comic book height of Wolverine is 5'3". I mean, it makes sense. I don't think like a 5'3" person is very threatening or imposing at all. Even though he would weigh like... I don't know. Wolverine never made sense to me just because of the adamantium skeleton thing.
It's adamantium. He'd probably weigh a bunch more.
Yeah.
Average.
I know like one way to kill him is just to drown him because he can't swim. He's so heavy. Also, like I get that it's comics and I shouldn't be nitpicking this hard, but regeneration in superhero stuff has never made sense because it's like how are they doing that? Like where's all this coming from? You know, like someone loses an arm and it just grows back like Deadpool. I guess like I think in the comics he'd have to like attach it back in some of them, and like others he would just have it grow back, but it's kind of dumb, you know.
I mean, it's fiction. Like,
yeah,
you can do whatever they want.
Do you have any stupid nitpicks like that?
No, not really. No.
There's not like one character that you think of and you're not just like, oh, this is dumb.
I'm thinking too hard to even think of anything. Like, I'm trying to think of something.
Putting you on blast.
I'm wondering how they're gonna do the Kang thing now that the Jonathan Major guy
beat up his girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're probably gonna recast him or just like retcon the whole thing.
From everything that I've like all the videos that I've watched, which is probably like 3, they just said that they were gonna try to do Doctor Doom instead and just ditch Kang altogether, because when they showed like all the different versions of him, they were still all played by Jonathan Majors. which sucks because he's a cool character. He's also not supposed to be black.
They've kind of taken the liberty of doing that.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like I think he's like, so you know who Iron Lad is?
Mm-hmm.
That's Kang.
Yeah, he's like a version of Iron Man.
No, he's not a version of Iron Man. He's like a great grandson of Reed Richards, I think.
Yeah.
I guess like not from one side. I mean, hold up, that sounded stupid. That would make him inbred. I have to think about what I'm saying here. Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. I like Jonathan Majors as an actor a lot. I think he was good in the newest Creed movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I heard it was pretty good though.
It was okay. It was I don't know. It was like a bunch of cliches done really well.
I feel like just from watching the Loki show and seeing Kang a lot, it's kind of less intimidating as it grows because he doesn't do much. He just says a lot of stuff.
It was supposed to be like a different version of him, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think the one in Loki was an older version of the one in like Quantumania.
Time travel is always something that's done horribly.
Yeah, because well, once you branch out too much, you've done too much to really fix any plot holes you made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Marvel's case,
especially Marvel. I've seen time travel handled well before. Have you seen Tenet?
No.
Do you like Christopher Nolan at all? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, he's a director.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really watched any of his movies.
You should. You're missing out. He made Interstellar. It's like my favorite film.
He made Oppenheimer, right?
Mm-hmm. Oppenheimer was good. It was just 3 hours of people talking in an explosion, but he still made it good and dramatic somehow. I think Tenet handled time travel really well because it wasn't like a direct thing. People would hop into this machine and it would like make them travel backwards through time, but at the same rate.
So time would move as they're moving, but they would also go backwards.
Kind of. So this is so hard to explain. It's such a trippy concept. Like imagine you look outside and there's like a car driving backwards down the road, but they're not like hitting anything. They're driving like really well, but what that person is seeing is everything backwards in time for them.
Okay.
There's a crazy fight scene in the movie where the protagonist like fights himself going backwards through time. It's really weird. You have to watch this movie, dude. It's great.
I'll put it on my list. One time travel plot hole, it might not be a plot hole, I'm just not thinking it enough, but in Endgame, when Captain America goes back in time and like marries Peggy and all that, it kind of retcons the Agent Carter TV show.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, it was just documented her life after like World War II in the 50s.
Did she get married or something?
No, I don't think she did. I mean, well, she must have been like in Civil War. I think she said she was married or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was crazy that Captain America turned into Joe Biden. That was insane. Are you voting this next election cycle?
I don't think I can.
You don't think you can?
No.
How old are you gonna be?
17.
Dang.
So. Do you think Donald Trump is just gonna end up being the president again?
I don't know.
I don't think Joe Biden has much hope. I don't see any other person.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are pushing Nikki Haley as kind of like the in-between for Democrats and Republicans, which doesn't make any sense to me. I see like Donald Trump destroying the polls though. He's going crazy right now. Very, very high numbers. I don't see a way in which Biden could beat him. I mean, Biden's kind of a vegetable. He just like stumbles around and
I don't think he's made one decision his whole presidency.
Yeah, it's just been his cabinet, really. He's like a puppet. Dude, did you see when he flashed his card? on like what to do?
No.
Yeah, so there's a video of him walking on stage to give some sort of speech or press conference type thing, and he like flashes his card and it's like ask like CNN this question, turn left, wave again, walk off stage or something like that. It's horrible, dude. He's so old.
Is he in his 80s or still late 70s?
I think late 70s.
I've just seen so many clips of him. Like,
Oh, 81, never mind, you're right.
There was one where he just walked off to get ice cream in the middle.
I think that was edited. I don't know, but it's really funny. Joe Biden instruction card.
I just don't see how they can't see that he's mentally ill.
Yeah, look at this dude.
Oh no. It's like for a second grader or something.
Yeah, the card. It's like you enter the Roosevelt room and say hello to participants. You take your seat. Press enters. You brief. I can't even read that. Press departs. You ask Liv Schuler, President AFL-CIO, a question. No, Liz is joining virtually. You thank your participants and you depart. That's so sad. Look how confused he is. He's holding it backwards. He's holding the instruction card backwards. He doesn't know what to do. Have you seen the Joe Biden merch?
No.
The dark Brandon or whatever?
I've not heard that. No.
I'll show you. So if you don't know, during Joe Biden's presidency campaign in 2016, he was like in a stadium and like everyone was like, F Joe Biden. He like gets up and he's like, yeah, let's go Brandon. Because he's old and decrepit. He doesn't know what's going on. But his PR team is like trying to turn it around as something that's supposed to be cool and funny, I guess. I don't know. And they're selling these mugs that have like him with laser eyes on it. It doesn't make any sense. This is like a real president, dude. This is official campaign merch. Yeah, I don't even know who people our age are voting for. I know a lot of my group is voting Republican, I think.
I don't know how to fact check this, but I've heard that in today's age, it's mostly the women who are the liberals and the guys who are the Republican. Like,
yeah, I can see that with... So, like, historically, that's been pretty true. Most... I will say I think liberalism is good to a certain point. I think, like, equality is good,
yeah.
but then it dives into socialism and stuff like that, which doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, historically, most liberal voters have been white women, which is very interesting.
I think they're just holding on to what, like, oppression they think they still have. Like, they think their lives are still unfair and like the patriarchy is against them and stuff.
Yeah, maybe there is a patriarchy socially. I don't know. I'm not a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you look at like the most people going to college right now are women. Like the most educated people are women. I know a lot of diversity and equity hires are women. Like jobs prefer hiring women over men. The pay gap per hour isn't real. That's not a real thing. People will compare salaries when men work more often and stuff like that.
A lot of it has to do with diversity hires, and like I think Disney had to meet a quota of like a certain amount of people in their like programs or whatever with like black people and gay people and stuff.
Dude, okay, now we're going into conspiracy territory. You know why that is?
Oh, well, I mean, I can guess. Like,
So, you know what the company BlackRock is?
no.
It's this giant hedge fund type thing that owns stock in everything. They're a monopoly for sure. But with all these giant companies, excuse me, they have this woke quota that they need to meet in order to receive BlackRock funding or like more stock purchases or whatever. So like the reason Disney keeps pushing all this woke stuff at the detriment of their own company is because they're still going to make money from BlackRock because they meet this quota. Mm-hmm. I think it's killing entertainment. Not that I don't want to see like diverse entertainment. Like I'm all for that. I just don't want it to be pushed. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like people should be able to make what they want and not what they have to make.
Yeah. And even with now to make a movie and get it in like the Oscars, you need a certain amount of diversity in your movie. It can't just be all like one type of person.
It's kind of funny though. It seems like the only thing that diversity means is like not white.
Yeah.
Because like I'm sure like was Nope or anything by Jordan Peele nominated for an Oscar?
I don't know. I think that was like all black people too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nominated. It didn't win though. I don't even know if I can say this out loud on the podcast though. Let me find the movie. I'll just show you. There's this movie about black people that do magic that's coming out pretty soon.
It's a real thing.
Yes, it's a real thing. And like the trailer is like super. I don't know if I call it like reverse racism or like actual racism. They just like talk poorly about white people a bunch. It's like funny, but imagine if it was reversed. I don't know, like you're not getting your movie to theaters if that happens. But
yeah, which is just a crazy thing nowadays. Even with like women and men, if men have standards that they want like their partner to meet, then they're gonna get bashed. But then if a woman does it, it's like really brave or something.
Yeah, it's strange. Like weight versus height, that thing. It's like, oh, like I want my man to be like 6'3" and make 6 figures. He has to bench 315. Probably not that, but and then like a dude will be like, oh, I just hope she's not 250 pounds and I want her to look cute sometimes. And they're like, oh, you horrible person, you chauvinist pig. I found this Instagram account called Ho Math, which is kind of just it's funny, but it's something that's dangerous. Kind of. I wouldn't even say that. It's dangerous if you're the right person, because incels are horrible. Basically, he just talks about like difference in standards between men and women. It's really funny. He's a phenomenal artist too, but yeah, you're right about like women being praised for having standards and men being demeaned. At the same time, I feel like the people who fixate on that like are weird. You know, it's like it's not everyone. Like some people just are genuinely interested in the social aspect of it, but there's others who are like the Reddit neckbeard incel, like doesn't speak to women at all. Like, and he's like, oh, I hate women so much. Like, oh, why don't girls like me? Oh,
I wonder.
And they just like they focus on it all the time. They like don't shut up about Andrew Tate. They just love Andrew Tate so much, bro.
I think a lot of people have kind of gotten over that alpha thing. Maybe it's still a niche, but
I don't even know if I call it a niche. I think if you are a young male and you are like on a big social media site, you will be bombarded with it. And there's like a lot of people who take it seriously, you know.
mm-hmm.
I don't think self-improvement is a bad thing. No one does.
Yeah, it's a good thing, but the way Andrew Tate does it, he's like literally the opposite of feminism, like completely.
Yeah,
Completely
the other end of the pendulum, for sure. I think he's gotten better. I think when he became a Muslim, like just organized religion made him a lot more bearable, a lot more polite, for sure. I don't like. I'm not necessarily a fan of him. I think his fan base is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times. You know who Sneeko is?
I've heard of that guy.
You know who? You watch UFC at all?
No.
You know what it is though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this UFC fighter. His name's Sean Strickland, and this like video went viral a couple weeks ago. Sneeko, he was like he got big, kind of just copying Andrew Tate. And I used to love Sneeko when he was just making like these video or not documentaries, but he was just like talking about stuff. He was like really funny, really relatable. And then like he started doing drugs and he got like really weird. He had like an experience on ecstasy that like changed his whole personality. He became like this unlikable piece of garbage. And like he trains in boxing and he challenged Sean Strickland, who's like this giant UFC champion, to a fight. And Sean Strickland destroyed him, bro. He let him walk around the ring for like a couple minutes. He started doing this villain monologue. He's like, right now you're understanding that there's nothing you can do to hurt me, and all your hope is dying. And then like out of nowhere, he just starts wailing on him, bro. He starts throwing like crazy overhands at this guy's face. Like there's no guard because Sneeko's just sitting here like waving around. It's like it was like watching a disabled person in their chair, kind of how the way they like flop around. Anyway, his side like threw in the towel twice. Like they threw in the towel and Sean didn't stop hitting him. Pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
You've just never been interested in fighting at all?
No.
No?
I don't see the point of it, and I don't know. I mean, I know it does look pretty cool, and it would be satisfying to get to that level.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you're putting yourself into a lot of danger, and you could be injured, like
For sure.
pretty
For sure.
badly.
Yeah, I think it's I wouldn't call it a virtue, but I think like knowing how to fight somewhat is a necessity. You know, I don't know. I've been in like a few physical confrontations. I've gotten beat up pretty badly, bro, like once or twice. But I've also been on the other end of that. I'm not saying it will happen to everyone, but I think it is necessary to know how to defend yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
obviously. Yeah.
At that point, just buy a gun, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about gun control?
I mean, it's important to defend yourself, I guess. Is gun control just where they take away your guns?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. I think you should be allowed to keep it like a handgun in your house in emergencies, but I don't know if it's necessary to bring around all the time.
You think people should be able to own rocket launchers?
No, I don't think
No.
so.
You think people should be allowed to own tanks?
I don't know where you store them.
in the garage.
I mean, if you have a plantation or a warehouse, I guess you have to be pretty trusted though. You have to be like, you can't just be some random guy in the street.
I think people should be allowed to own rockets and tanks and cool stuff. I mean, you can buy tanks. It's actually legal to buy tanks. I don't think they can be like fully functioning or something weird, but you can legally purchase a tank. You ever looked at like military surplus stuff? They sell like a bunch of cool stuff. I have like my grandpa has this like World War One era bayonet that like has been handed down. It was from like a military surplus store. It's pretty cool.
So it's authentic, like it was made back then?
Yeah.
War stories are probably the scariest.
Dude, have you ever listened to Roach's stories?
Yeah, he is.
Talks about like getting blown out of like the gunner's seat of like one of his vehicles and yeah, Roach's a unit, dude.
You heard of Mr. Ballin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of those stories too.
I don't think I've heard it because he was in the Marine Corps, wasn't he?
Yeah, for quite a bit, and he had to be taken out because he like got partially blown up. Like there was like
I didn't know that.
A bomb like pretty close to him, and he somehow survived with a bunch of shrapnel on his back though.
How did he not lose any limbs?
I don't know.
Being like one of the EOD guys has to be one of the scariest jobs on the planet. Like disarming bombs.
Yeah.
That's how do you even go about doing that?
I wouldn't know how to start.
Yeah, I don't either. And like I'm just referring to like the mental side. You have to have like a screw loose to be like, oh, like I don't know. There's like maybe a 30% chance that I die here, but that's okay. At least I'm getting a good paycheck. What's your price?
For disarming a bomb?
Not for disarming a bomb, for something just like being lethal. Like, oh, like if there's a chance you'll die on this job, and it's like a pretty big one, like let's say like a 33% chance. Like you have a 2/3 chance of surviving. What's your price for that job?
I don't know if I can put money on that. I don't
Really?
think I would do that.
10 million.
No.
10 million? No.
No.
It's a new house. You don't have to work again ever in your life.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what the work is.
It could be like climbing those cell towers or something to like replace a bulb on the top. You ever watch videos of that?
No.
They like climb these giant cell towers with nothing but these little carabiner straps that they just clip to the end.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. Even with 30 or 30%, I don't think I would risk my life for anything.
Anything.
I mean, anything in money. Like,
Anything in money?
Yeah.
So what would you risk your life for then?
My family or friends.
Yeah.
Or people.
What about an animal?
No.
No.
Not even my cat. They don't
Yeah,
have a soul, so they're not
I'm probably
really
the same way.
important.
What would you do if you were like trying to go to bed one night and your cat just like stands up on its hind legs and looks at you and it's like, no one's gonna believe you?
I'm
Just
just
get back down.
chuck a pillow at it and run.
You wouldn't like kill it right there?
I mean, maybe I would.
If my dog does that to me, it's not living, bro.
I would second guess myself before taking action. If I was dreaming.
What? Say that again, please. You got a dead spot?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it with Gabe?
Yeah, it was good. We talked about a bunch of movies. I also had a lot more prepared with like, would you press the button questions? And I made him take a what FNAF character are you quiz.
What FNAF character are you? What FNAF character are you, Casey?
I don't know.
Let's find out.
Okay.
Do you think FNAF 4 is scary?
I've never played it.
So maybe I'm not sure. That problem.
Yeah. I haven't played any of them, actually.
Which one do you think you'll get? That's the dumbest question ever. Okay, Foxy, Springtrap, Mangle, Bonnie, Balloon Boy, Toy Chica, Nightmare, Fredbear, Toy Bonnie, Freddy, Toy Freddy, Chica, Golden Freddy, Marionette, Plush Trap. Bro, I didn't know there was this many characters.
I don't know how animatronics have personalities.
Bro, who is Plush Trap? I guess they have like different personalities based off of what they do. Like Foxy's fast. I know that. I played the first one when it came out in like 2013 or whatever.
I'll say Freddy. So I'm the main character.
Swaggin. What the heck? If you were mad at a friend, which one would you do? Grab them, jump on them, jump and bite them, turn off their house power.
I would turn off their house power. That sounds amazing.
You know how easy that is?
You just break the line.
You don't even have to. Dude, I'm an apprentice for an electrician. Dude, you like call power companies if like there needs to be some sort of like emergency work done, but they do not ask questions. You're like, oh, like I need a line disconnected at like this address. Like they'll just do it, dude. You could literally just turn someone's power off if you wanted to. You probably could. Which is more active? Or who is more active? Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Freddy, Bonnie, Mangle. That's a dumb question.
You mean who gets quirkiest at night?
Who gets freaky when the lights go out?
Freaky Fazbear.
So Freddy. Okay. I have a feeling it's gonna give you Freddy.
Maybe.
If your friend complimented you, which one would you do? Say thanks, flirt, just walk away, compliment back, say hi. You looking nice today. Hi.
I would just compliment them back.
Which animal would you dress up to be?
No.
Wolf, panda, human, raccoon, bat. Are you a furry, Casey?
No.
Good.
I'll dress up as a human.
I dress up as a human daily. What's your favorite food? Pizza with a ton of exclamation points in all caps. I'm a vegetarian. Bacon, hamburger, or mac and cheese.
I'll go hamburger.
Which two people have the least scary jump scare? Toy Bonnie, Mangle, Marionette and Balloon Boy, Foxy and Springtrap, Bonnie and Freddy, Chica and Old Bonnie. These are all like paired up, by the way.
Let's say Toy Bonnie and Mango, whoever those are.
Foxy's was always the worst because there was like build up. You'd see him like running in the hallway and you'd be like, oh no.
Is that the one with the iPad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you were in a band, which instrument would you play? I would just sing, just dance. Oh my gosh. I would just sit around with no face.
What kind of
guitar? I don't like bands. There's one instrument in this whole question, bro.
play the guitar?
Because that's the only instrument there. Ooh, bro, this quiz was made by like a 5th grader or something. If you're playing a game, would you get mad at it? Yes, all the time. Not at all. No, only sometimes.
Sometimes. Obviously depends on what game it is.
I scream at Halo, bro.
I don't think I've ever audibly yelled at a game.
I have too many times. What animal out of these is your fave? Horse, lion, panda, wolf, cat.
A wolf.
They have lion and cat on the same. Okay. Do you feel bad for old Bonnie for losing his face? Yes, kinda, of course. No. No, how, no, diggity, do.
diggity do.
When you are alone, you would listen to music, eat pizza, nap, watch TV, practice a sport or instrument.
Watch TV.
Who do you think the leader would be if robots took over the world? Purple Guy, Bonnie, Marionette, Freddy, Balloon Boy.
Balloon Boy.
Purple Guy? Is Purple Guy a robot?
I don't know.
Describe yourself in one word. Brave, funny, introvert, intelligent, extrovert.
Introvert.
Not intelligent? You're pretty smart.
Yeah.
You got Mangle.
Woohoo.
You are Mangle. You were attacked by little kids and lost your body parts. They also broke your jaw. Mangle is a girl.
Oh.
How does it feel to be a girl with a broken jaw?
That's amazing. Sangle ready to mangle.
No. Have diggity do. I wonder who took time out of their day to make that. Also, like with the most garbage questions ever, too. Which one did Gabe get?
It was some guy called, I think, Andrew Fitzgerald. It's some human character. Like I think he was the first security guard to not die. He was
Swaggin'.
some random dude.
They're in the process of making a new Tron.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
What do you think?
I'm excited because that's like my favorite franchise.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's Tron Ares. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think Jared Leto is gonna be in it.
Yeah,
Which-
he is.
That scares me.
Yeah, that's good or bad.
I love Tron so much. I think Tron as a character is freaking awesome. Like Rinsler. I love Rinsler. Rinsler's so cool.
Yeah, the Legacy movie was really underrated.
I loved it.
Just the filmography and all the stuff they did.
Dude, Daft Punk doing the soundtrack was so good. I love Daft Punk so much. I've been listening to a lot of Daft Punk lately. Sucks that they broke up. I say that like they were married. Yeah, their reasoning was really interesting too. I don't remember what Guy Manuel's was, but I know Tomas was like with him, he said that he was like scared of AI and promoting it because Daft Punk like always had this sort of embrace for tech, and he didn't want people to confuse their image for that in the long run. And also he didn't want to be chained to the idea of a robot, which is kind of dumb because just take the mask off then. But together they were like, oh, when we made Random Access Memories, that was the best album we could have possibly made, and I don't know if there's anything past this. You heard that album?
No.
It's great. You should listen to it.
I haven't heard a lot from them other than the Tron soundtrack.
They make great music, dude. You should check them out. Oh, they got the guy who plays Cal Kestis. I hate Jared Leto so much. It makes me really mad that he's talented. Have you ever listened to 5 Seconds to Mars?
No.
It's Jared Leto's band, and he's a great singer, which I hate. I want more reasons to hate on him, but he's really talented. He's weird.
Did he play the Joker in Suicide Squad?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a garbage movie.
I never watched it.
Don't. You actually watch the Suicide Squad. It's like the sequel, the soft reboot. That's pretty good. But the first one is just awful. Suicide Squad stuff has a pretty bad track record. Outside of the James Gunn movie, like everything else just sucks. Like the new Justice League killed or other way around, sorry. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League game is trash from what I've heard.
Is it just the plot or just the whole thing?
Yeah, it kind of I think the plot, yeah. I've heard their gameplay is repetitive. but it totally undermines the Batman Arkham games. Like, they kill Arkham Batman, they kill Tim Drake Robin. It's like, bro, what? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a bit ironic how Batman would even die. It's how much he's been through.
I think if he...
Other from old age, which I think he did die from old age in some storyline.
We almost got a Batman Beyond movie by the same people who animated Into the Spider-Verse, dude.
That would have been sick.
Like, Sony's animation team. Dude, that would have been so good. And I'm so mad that we didn't get that. Batman Beyond is an underrated character for sure.
Did that show not run for very long? That cartoon?
I don't remember.
I've only seen the first episode. That was a while ago.
I used to watch it when I was a kid. Dude, I remember this one episode where there was like some sport being played in this weird, like, I don't know if it was like a zero gravity chamber or something like that. And people were putting like dope patches on them. They were doping as like a performance enhancing drug. Yeah.
Oh.
Batman the Animated Series always had like crazy stuff in it. It was pretty mature for its time. Have you heard of the enhanced games?
No.
So it's this big sporting event that's like the Olympics, but it doesn't drug test. It's going to start pretty soon. I'm excited.
So it's just open to steroids?
Yeah. We're going to get to see the most powerful people alive, bro. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Imagine someone just destroying Usain Bolt's record, bro.
That would...
Someone running at like, instead of like 30 miles per hour, like 35 miles per hour. Imagine like a 5 mile per hour difference. How fast that would look. Or someone like, dude, does the Olympics still host boxing? I don't even know.
I think boxing is just its own thing now.
Like, what I want to see is a UFC category that doesn't drug test. I think that'd be super interesting.
I would hate to see the guy who gets beaten up after that.
Face looks like meatloaf. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, boxing is still in the Olympics.
Imagine that without drug testing. That'd be crazy. What if, like, not only were they on like steroid type PEDs, but they were just like blasting meth or something. So they were like just wiry and scary.
That'd be their last day on Earth.
They like win and then die.
They just overdose in the middle of a match. Fall over. That'd be cool to see, but it'd be horrible to their health.
Yeah, for sure.
Break them.
It's kind of like bodybuilding. I've been following bodybuilding for a while. It's interesting, but it's super gay. Like watching giant, muscly men pose on stage all oiled up in their underwear. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool to be buff, but yeah, bodybuilding is kind of gay.
I just don't see why anyone would want to be that buff. Like, that's just huge.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's aesthetically pleasing to me, but at the same time, I think it's weird how it's not considered obesity, because it is. If you're 300 pounds of muscle, that's not healthy. That's extremely unhealthy, actually.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Ronnie Coleman now, like, the dude can barely even walk. It's crazy. I think there is like a good range. Like, if you can be like 220 in pure muscle, that's okay. Especially if you're doing it naturally.
Dang, Ronnie Coleman is huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like an extra back, like an extra, I don't even know.
Dude,
it's crazy.
He was a cop and he was that size still.
Yikes.
Yeah, look him up in his police outfit, bro. Imagine a traffic stop and that pulls you over. That freaking hulking monster of a man.
It's insane.
What do you even do?
You give up.
Dude, I saw a picture, I think it was him, like from the back, and he was just like naked. Like just and they're like trying to show off his striated glutes, but like his underwear was just like at his ankles. It's pretty gay at that point.
Oh,
If you look up Kevin Lerone, he had like similar size to Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie was bigger, but like his shape was crazy. Kevin Lerone like still looked aesthetically pleasing. Like his shoulders are bigger than his head.
like there's a tiny guy coming out of this.
Oh, with the traps, yeah,
So weird.
it is.
I've always wanted to like start working out. I've made excuses like I just not having time.
Dude, honestly, just do some push-ups in your room. Like it, just start there. I added like 20 pounds to my bench over the summer just by doing like spamming push-ups like every other day. Yeah, I went from like 240 to like 260 in the summer, and now I'm like up to 275 on bench just from doing push-ups every once in a while.
Well, a lot of it is also with getting like the proper nutrients and like meals and stuff, right?
Just eat high protein,
Yeah.
and eat a lot. I don't know. I mean, if you want to be like shredded, yeah, you have to watch. I can't really speak on that though right now because I'm kind of chubby. So like, but yeah, if you want to gain like a ton of muscle, just eat. Like, hold up. There's a way to do it. So for every pound that you weigh, if you want to gain muscle, you have to eat like a gram. It's like 0.7 to 1 gram of protein for every pound in your body, which is actually like a lot easier than you think. You get like protein shakes. Lately, I've been eating like a can of tuna every once in a while. It's disgusting, but I'll add like buffalo sauce or like just tons of hot sauce, and it'll make it doable.
Are the protein shakes like those green, just liquidy things?
No, they're not green. It's like chocolate milk kind of.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty good sometimes if you are brainwashed enough. Yeah, it's like whey, so it's like a derivative of milk, and it's just like, yeah, milk based protein a lot of times. There is like this I know this sounds disgusting. It's like a beef based protein shake, but you can't tell. It's pretty good. It's disgusting, I know, like to hear about it. Drinking beef. There's people who do chicken shakes, bro. They'll just like blend up chicken and water and drink it. That's disgusting. Do you have like a goal physique in mind?
I mean, just like in the middle, I want to have some abs and at least like without me flexing to show I have muscle. I don't want to go too over the top.
No, that's fair.
I just want to be in good enough shape where I can be healthy for a long time.
Yeah. Start lifting weights, dude. Start doing push-ups every once in a while. I think like it would. I mean, you got a good frame. You could fill out pretty well. Oh my gosh, the Halo show.
Oh no.
Ah,
I didn't really choose to watch it, but I just heard that
it's so bad. Were you ever into Halo at
no.
all? No. It's the Halo show is just like the worst bastardization of the source material ever. It's not even. It doesn't have anything to do with the source material. They get this guy to like take his helmet off in the first episode. Bro, why? And like the guy who plays him gives some stupid excuse. He's like, "Oh well, if you can't see my face, then I can't connect with the audience that well, and there's no emotion in the character at all." It's like, yeah, you're playing a soldier, dude. Like Master Chief's whole thing is like he's a vehicle for the person to relate to, and like even in the 343 games, like they show emotion through him really well, and he doesn't take his helmet off ever. I don't know. Like, you've watched The Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It was good. I mean, he didn't need to take his helmet off to like relate.
For sure.
If that's what you mean.
For sure. And like even when like you don't see Pedro Pascal's face, like you can still enjoy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
His face didn't really add much to it, did it?
No.
So why do you need to take your helmet off in the first episode? Dude, there's a fight scene where they're like on a warthog, right? They're like driving through, I don't know if it's like Reach City or what, but he looks back at people that are shooting at him. He looks forward and then he takes his helmet off in an active combat zone. Dude, what? Like the coolest characters in Halo have all been faceless. Like it's like Chief, Noble Six, and Emil. None of them show their face like ever. It's just their helmet. Even clone troopers, like I know like in Star Wars they take their helmets off all the time.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have to. I'm a huge Halo nerd. And this character he's crazy. Yeah, I could talk for hours about Halo lore, bro. He's a Spartan 3, which were like basically the Spartan 3s were like a bunch of orphans who like their parents died to aliens and they were like either given the choice of like continue being an orphan or join the Spartan 3 program, and like a ton of them went out on these giant like suicide missions. Just like the idea of the Spartan 3 program was just to throw as many bodies at this group of aliens like as possible. And Emil specifically, like his parents were dead, and his brother, because these insurrectionists sold him out. So like the dude became a freaking war crime, like the human embodiment of a war crime. Like he would just like kill insurrectionists all the time, basically. It's crazy. You got any movies you're looking forward to?
Probably just the Fantastic Four, if you
Yeah.
can even call it looking forward. I'm just hoping it's not bad.
I really want to see that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of those movies.
You've watched them though, right?
No.
No?
I don't like apes that much. They're just weird to me.
They got a good plot. Did they creep you out or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
CGI.
I would love to see a horror movie that's just about like someone stuck in a house with an angry chimpanzee. You know how terrifying that'd be? Chimps weigh like 150 pounds or can weigh up to that. So that's already like a moderately sized person, and they could kill you so easily, bro. There's like so many cases of like a loving owner taking care of a chimp for years, and then one day it just gets mad and rips their face off.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So here's the question. You're armed with, a decent sized pocket knife. You think you could take a chimp?
From what you said, probably not. I don't.
Really? You have a knife though. It doesn't have a knife.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe?
I don't know.
What's your game plan?
If it is leaping at me, I just hope it hits it. I don't hope you're not.
You're in a house. You're in this house.
Mm.
You have anything at your disposal. How are you killing a chimp?
Where is the chimp?
Let's say it's like at the door over there.
Okay, so if it's going to try to kill me, then I just throw anything at it. I don't know.
What are you picking up first?
Probably that PlayStation controller.
The controller? Why not the coffee table? That'll do way more damage.
Yeah, that's true. I can grab a hammer and just bash his head.
You have a hammer
Yeah.
at your disposal?
In the kitchen.
What do you think? Wait, why is there a hammer in the kitchen?
It's in the cabinet.
Oh, okay. No prep time right now in this house. What's the strongest animal you can take on?
Probably the chimp.
Really? Nothing stronger?
I'm not sure what would What would be stronger?
than a chimp? I don't know. A gorilla? A silverback gorilla?
No way. I mean, I guess that depends on how.
What about like a horse?
I mean, that'd be pretty easy to get out of the way of.
Yeah, but they're big. I'm talking like a Mustang, bro. Like a big horse. Like a huge horse.
I would try to climb onto it.
I don't even think I could. I know like Rocha has this story of like someone he knew got kicked in the head by a horse and it gave him brain damage and they were like dumb afterwards. You think you could tame a horse in the wild if you had to?
I could try. I don't know if I'd succeed because I don't have any experience with horses.
Is it like Minecraft?
Just ride on it until left.
Alexander the Great POV. What do you think, maybe not the strongest, what do you think like the most ferocious animal you can take on in a fight would be? Like, you think you could take on like a coyote?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about 2 coyotes?
No.
No?
One could be distracting me and then the other one could attack me. So they could probably work in unison.
Connor said that he could take on 2 timber wolves. And I don't know if he's trolling or not.
He's probably trolling.
He is, but like the way he's saying it is so serious. So yeah, I'm currently capturing 2 timber wolves and I'm gonna let them go in his house and see what happens. I found this YouTube account of this guy that hunts boar and like, yeah, just like wild pigs because they're like a huge nuisance. Yeah, once pigs go back in the wild, they like evolve like Pokemon. Like, this isn't even a joke. Like, you can look this up. They turn into these like crazy boar. Like, look up the transformation. It's actually crazy. It takes like 2 weeks for it to happen. Yeah, that's what they turn into, bro. If pigs are left alone, like, it doesn't take long for them to like. It's nasty. Anyway, this guy, because they're such a nuisance, this guy like hunts them down. They're the only thing you can hunt legally from like a helicopter. Like, you can like shoot them down from a machine gun on a helicopter. There's this video of him just like walking up to one that's dying and he like mag dumps on it, bro. He's probably a sociopath. He's probably someone that like wanted to kill people but couldn't, so he just kills pigs instead. What you got?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know.
We can stop here if you want to.
All right, yeah. I think
Alright.
that's good. Okay, thank you all for listening to the episode 2.
Sorry for the awkward ending.
Yeah. All right, goodbye, everyone.